I'm going to do this one in Halloween tonight. So, and I decided this is about, let me tell you the size of it. It's about 10 inches wide, and 6 3/4, almost 7 inches tall. So it's perfect size to do, and I'm going to decorate both sides of it, because if you've got it sitting on a table, you can use it for a centerpiece. And if it's on a Halloween, this one's going to be a Halloween piece, so if it's on a table for Halloween, they'll be able to see a different design on both sides. So you will get the piece of wood, the base that it goes on. This is all cut from 2-inch wood, just like the snowman. And then in the top, we have drilled a hole, and you will get a battery-powered candle. You just turn the switch, and it flips on. There is a little rubber thing on this bottom of this candle that you will put a little glue down in there, and the first time you use it, you'll push this down in there, and it'll glue that little rubber base down in there, because to change your batteries, you just take the top off. So really, you don't even have to take it off unless you choose to. But you'll be putting that down in there after you complete your piece. And then it, like I said, it uses 2 AA batteries. So you're going to get the wood, the base, the batteries, the screws, and you're going to get 2 different Halloween pieces. This is a sheet of just mixed items. And it's just an extra piece. So you can choose to add a few little things like I do, the little add-ons. You can choose and add those on after we get the piece, after we get it done. Now I printed these 2. This is 5x7 designs, and I'm going to put this on one side and this one on the other. I'm doing 2 Halloween, 2 of the same holiday, for the simple fact that they can use it for a centerpiece. Now, if you're making it for yourself and you don't want to use it for a centerpiece, then put like Halloween on one side and Christmas on the other. So you can switch it up, put 2 different holidays on each side, or you can just put something that you use every day. You put roses on one side of it, Easter on the other, and then you got, something for every day or something for a holiday. So it's got a lot of different uses. But this one I'm doing as Halloween. So you can order it. If you want to order it, you can get it with, you can say, I want it with Halloween designs, or I want it with Christmas. Whatever you get, you'll get a full sheet of 2 patterns, and you'll get a sheet of just mixed stuff. If it comes as Halloween, this is what you'll get. If it comes with Christmas, it may be a little something else. Okay? And then you're ready to finish it, varnish it, and you got a beautiful piece to go. These will be, I think these will be $19 for the complete, everything complete. You get the candle and all. They will be $18.95 a piece plus the shipping. And this piece weighs about 2 pounds. So it's not quite as heavy as the snowman was. Okay, so I'm going to get started on this one. And I have cut out, this has got some, what do you call them? Bats. Got some bats. I'm an old bat, I should know that. It's got some bats on the top of it, so I've cut out some of those bats to use on the edges. I'm going to use them on the edges of mine. And I'm going to use one Halloween design on the front and one on the other side. But I have striped this. I'm going to paint this one black and white. And I have just taken my trusty little cardboard, and this one is 3/4 inches. And I have traced this, set this out, and made my stripes starting in the middle. I went down one, down, down, till I got all my stripes across there, and then I marked them with an X. Now after I get the main board started, and while it's drying, we'll go back in and paint this one. Okay, so I'm going to lay this one over here on my table, and I'm going to turn my camera down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing a little better. Okay, get my glasses on. Okay, there's Christine says she's going to need one for Christmas and one for Halloween. That's a good thing. And like I said, if you want to put different Christmas on them, or different on each side, then you can do that. Okay, now these I don't have to, the candles is the only thing I have to worry about getting, and I won't have any problem getting them. But the music boxes, I don't know how long. I told her today to just go ahead and send me 50, but she has to order them. So let's hope she gets them in. And she said it may take a week to 10 days or more before I get music boxes again. So I'm going to cut this one apart first. I printed two. This is what you get when you print two on one sheet. Okay, this is two 5x7s on one sheet. And even though I'm going to tear the design out, I'm going to go ahead and cut this in the middle to get it started. Okay. So I'm going to now it's got a little bit of sky around here, so I'm not going to tear into that. And we're working white on white, so we don't have to worry so much about it being precise like we do with a lot of things, because the white will fade into the white that we've got on there. And I've printed on the rough side of the rice paper. Some of you have been asking which side to print on. There's a rough side and a smooth side. I've made a mistake sometimes and printed on the slick side, and I go ahead and use it. It's just different for me. I'm not real fond of that, so I don't do that unless I just make a goof up and do it. I like the rough side better. I just took my fingers and tore all the way around that. So I've just got a piece here, and I'm just going to lay it down. Not going to particularly center it, because I'm going to shade underneath it. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut. Since I've got some little blue part down there, I'm going to go ahead and cut right across the bottom and even that up, so when I put my shading under there, I won't have to worry about covering that paper. So I'm just doing kind of a precise cut with my trusty little scissors, and I'm just going across the bottom. So I just went right across the bottom of that. And I'm going to just lay it down there. Now you've got plenty of room on this to even go bigger, but it wasn't big enough to do an 8x10. So I sold one of the gallon jugs today of the Halloween, so I might do a gallon jug Halloween one with you next week. They are really popular for the fall. I do one that we decoupage, and I do another one that I stencil that's got orange mulberry paper on it, and I stencil it. Will the wood candlestick holder be painted white or raw wood? No, it's not. The candlestick holder is plastic, and it's white, already white, and has the little drips on it. So you could probably hit that with a little bit of paint, but I'm not sure how that plastic would do. So it's really just a white, it's not white, but it's just an ivory kind. And I'll put a bow around that. I'll decorate the top of this by taking me some Halloween ribbon and putting a bow around that. If it's Christmas, then I'll use Christmas ribbon or whatever. But when I get some different ones done, I'll show you each style as we do some different holidays. Because this one, we used to paint these when the country stuff was all in and put all kinds of stuff on them. Daryl and I did. We did them in 2 or 3 different sizes. So I've got my paper down. I'm going to pick up one side. Got my Mod Podge over here, which I call glue. Ready to go. I've thinned it down a little bit. Put a very little in here. Very small amount. Oh, and I painted this board white. I use the white right out of the bottle. I don't use chalk paint, girls. Very seldom do I use chalk paint. So I use the white. I think it was either Delta or Folk Art. I got an Americana white too. And I put 2 coats on it. And then you want to sand. After you get them 2 coats on and it gets dry, you want to sand that thing until it's just as smooth as can be. You don't want any nubs, anything on it. You want it really, really nice and smooth. Okay, I've got my glue under there, and I'm just taking that piece of saran wrap and working that right out. Now I'm going to turn my board around and pick that up and put a little bit on this side. No, they come unfinished. Melissa, they'll come totally unfinished to you. I just painted this one white. I'll be posting a picture. And when I get this one done tomorrow, I wanted to wait to post the picture till I had one finished to post along with it. So tomorrow I'll post a picture and all the details like I've done with the music boxes. Now, some people ordered music boxes today, and she asked me when I was going to teach them. So I went back and put the link under that music box post. So where I posted for the music boxes, I put the links under there to both the videos so you can watch how to do them. And as we do these, I'll post some of the links under it too, but I'll make a post sometime tomorrow probably that shows you the kit And all you get, the price and everything, all set up for you. Now, I'm not going to top coat that. Not right now till I get the other side done. Then it sets up freestanding so I can go back in. I'm going to lay that candle down there. I don't want, my table's not the cleanest in the world. So I'm going to lay that down on there. And I'm going to take the other one. And I'm going to tear it out. These are my designs, come out of my, they're in my shop. These are Halloween designs that I created. I'm going to create a bunch more for Halloween. I don't have too many in my shop. I didn't have my design shop last year when I was in the fall, when I was doing Halloween thing. I did do design quite a bit at Christmas time last year. But I don't have a whole lot for Halloween. Just 4 or 5 designs in there. But I'll be working on them over the next few weeks. Okay. Now I'm ready to put that one down there. Lay it down. Get it positioned into place. And come back in here. These are quick projects too, girls. Once you get your board base coated and get started at it, you can do a lot of these in a short amount of time. Make a nice gift. If you have Halloween parties, many people have Halloween parties as they do other holidays. It's a big party holiday, so they decorate big time for it. Got that down there. I'm just taking my paper and smoothing all the stuff out from underneath. Make sure it lays down good. Now I'm going to reverse it a little bit and put my other side on. Pick that up. Put my decoupage on there. My glue, which is Mod Podge. I use the matte finish Mod Podge, and I buy it by the gallon. I get it on Amazon. It's about the best place to get it by the gallon that I've found. Now I've got that one down. Okay. Now I'm going to make sure I see a little spot right there that's not glued down really good. So I'm going to make sure all my edges have glue underneath them. So that I don't have any edges pop up. See, that one's on the back is, I use so little amount of glue I can already put my hands. I don't have to worry about having my hands on that because I haven't put a top coat on it. And that will dry fast too, and I better check the edges over there. Okay, they look glued. Okay, now I'm going to put my top coat on. Go from the middle out, putting a little bit all over the piece. This is just to seal in the print. Okay. Good to see you, Candy. You finally got alive. So excited to be part of today's video. I'm glad for you to be here. It's been crazy. Oh, you're in Oregon. Boy, you are a long way. I have a brother-in-law that's from Oregon. My sister's husband, but I'm not sure what part of Oregon he's from. See, this goes down really nice. Okay, I've got that one finished. Now I'm going to hold this up here at the top because I don't want to get my fingers. That's a little bit wet. I don't want to get my fingers in that. And I'm going to come over here and seal this one down. By the time I get my black painted on that base, this will all be dry and we'll be ready to do all the frilly stuff, which is what really makes it come alive. Okay, I've got both sides, this side glued down and this side glued down. Now I'm going to set this up here and let it dry while I am painting the checks on that, or the black on that base. And get rid of some of this paper that I cut up. Okay. Okay, girls, I'll take a peek here and see if there's something you asked me. Do I have something for fall? Yes, I do. I have plenty. You can go to my Maddie B Design shop and look at those. And if you see two of something in there, or they're all listed here in the albums, in my on my page here. It's according to what kind of machine that you're looking on as to how you get to the albums. On my iPad, I go to the top, and I think it says media at the top. I can't get up there right now. I just kicked myself out down there. So I think it says media at the top of that page, and then that takes you to the photo albums. And when it does, you can look through those albums, and all of my designs that are for sale are in those albums, and everyone has a stock number. So you can order by stock numbers. And if you choose to, if you have two fall pieces that you like, just order that one and tell me I want this in two 5x7s, which would be the price of one sheet. You just be you just be playing, well, I can't even get it out. You just be paying for one sheet. I'm trying to get this back up down here on my iPad, but it's not working for me. Okay, I'm going to go down. I'm going to put me on a little bit of black paint. So if you see something in any of them, two of the Halloween or two of the Christmas or two of the others that you like, two different prints, then just order them that way. But when you order a board, you can specify that. You can say, if you decide you want a kit, then tell me I want it for Halloween, or I want it for Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever. And then I'll fix you up with the right designs to do those particular holidays. Get my towel down here to wipe my brush on. Okay. Now I'm just using a flat brush that fits my stripes, and I'm going to take them all the way across and down the edges. Okay. And I have marked each one that I'm going to do. I've marked with an X so that I don't make a mistake and get one where I'm not supposed to have it. The edge of that brush helps me to bring that down on the thing. Now, if I was doing Christmas, I wouldn't be doing black stripes. I'd be doing something else. I might do checks, do black and white checks if I was doing Christmas. But I wouldn't want as much black on it if I was doing Christmas. Uh-oh, I just hit that in the wrong spot. My brush has a stray hair on it. I catch that little water, and I may have to go back later and touch that up with a little white paint. But I can do that. Okay. Now I'm going to get rid of that brush and try another one. Okay. Yeah, that one's better. See, this is the slow part, getting all these in. It's hard to chat, girls, when you're concentrating. You have to think about what you're doing. I finished the tissue box that I done last night. I varnished it today and put some glitter in the varnish on the last coat, so I'll put some glitter on it. I'll show it to you a little later. Okay, and going right on across to the next one. You put polka dots on this. If you don't want to take the time to paint them stripes in there, just put you some polka dots on it, or paint your base in a color. You could paint your whole base black for Halloween and put you some white polka dots on it. I like things done with this this size of wood because it has a good, you know, it's not flimsy and it holds up good. Some of the ladies on here have put together a retreat. They're going to do Royal Funky Junk and her partner. Can't remember her name, Chris. They are going to do a crafters retreat in October. So if you're interested in traveling, it'd be a good fun thing to do. I used to travel to those all the time for painting. We go in a group and have a good time, but I'm too old. Too much to travel now. My husband's not traveling, so I won't be planning to go. If it was closer to home, I might. But if you can, it'd be a good time. Well, I totally lost that on my iPad, so... Okay. The stripes makes you think of baseball soccer. I guess it would. Gilded, what do you, let me know what you need. Joe can try to cut it out for you. He's been doing pretty good in the shop. He's been doing pretty good making me some things. I love to do, used to be everything. We used to, when we do the shows, we came to Gatlinburg one time. We had a big 18 passenger van, one of them great old big ones. It's what we traveled in when we was doing the shows. And we came to Gatlinburg one year in October, and the show wasn't the best in the world. And when we loaded with wood, I mean, it was unreal how much we could put in that van. In fact, when we come here in October, we would come with $25,000 worth of inventory and put it in that van. It was, you know, you just however you pack it. But anyway, we started home that year after July, and we still had quite a bit of stuff. And of course, when you're packing to go back, you don't pack like you do when you're coming. You pack to just get it in there. We got up into Virginia and had a breakdown, and we got off the highway and had to call a wrecker to come get us. We was one exit from the nearest dealer to get the van worked on. So we had to have it hauled into the thing. And when we got it in there, they had to do something to the rear end or something. I can't remember what it was. It was a major thing, so we was there the rest of the day. But anyway, when he took it back in the garage, the mechanic come out and he said, "Ma'am," he said, "would you mind telling me what you're hauling in that van?" And I said, "Why?" And he said, "It's so heavy we can't get it up off the floor." I said, "It's wood." So he had to use the jacks to get it up off the thing. They had to use the hydraulic things for a big tractor to get it up off the floor to work on it. We used to do shows in Richmond. Used to go to Richmond. That used to start the year in May. We would head over to Richmond, Virginia for 3 or 4 days. We used to go there 3 or 4 times a year to Richmond. Worked a show called Art in the Park. We used to go up around D.C. and do a couple shows up there. Charleston, West Virginia was always a good show. I think it still goes on. And then, of course, coming down here to Gatlinburg was the main thing because we stayed down here so long. First few years we come, we stayed everywhere. I stayed in a bed and breakfast. One year Daryl would come down and help me set up, and then he'd go back home. And I'd stay the show. I shared motel rooms with some of the other crafters. I stayed in bed and breakfast and just here and there. And then we bought a motorhome, and we pulled it down for a few years. And then when Stacy decided to come down here to live, we bought some property here in a trailer. So then we stayed in our own place when we come down. This place is growing in leaps and bounds, girls. If you haven't been here for a while, you'll be amazed at what's going on. When I get the stripes on, I'll stop and see if there's something I need to answer for you. But I'll always go back. You know that. I always go back and answer all your questions when I'm finished. I can sit down, relax, and watch TV a little at night and then answer all your questions. And you can always shoot me a question on the messenger somewhere if you have something, you know, something you need help with. My friend Gilda that's in here, she's here in our group, girls. She's here now. She does soap making, beautiful soap making, and neat with goat milk soap. If you've got a page, Gilda, put your page in the, put a link to your page in the comments so they can see what you do. She does beautiful work, and she's a very good artist. Very, very good. Couple more and I got them done. Okay. Pam, she has some of the, not only is the soap good, it's beautiful. Just for display, it makes you not want to use it when you get it. You don't want to mess up the designs and stuff by using it. Her things are so pretty. of things to chit-chat about, girls. I think she's going to try to fix her Etsy shop before too long. Things are so iffy right now. Etsy is so down right now with the economy like it is. I swear it's sad. Our gas is, of course, we're not as bad as some places in the United States, but today it jumped. I went to town today and it was $4.30. So it's every 2 or 3 days we get another nickel or another dime to it. Last week it went down a few cents, and then this week it's right back up again. So I don't know what some people are going to do. It's soon going to get to the point in some places where they have to make a choice as to whether they're going to go to work or not. That's silly, really. They've let our country get in such a mess. Okay, got one more there. Try not to get my hands in that one. I will varnish this one, and I will put the glitter on this one too, being as it's Halloween and sparkly. And then I'll give it a try, but you may be able to paint that candle. If we put a coat of sealer on that candle, you may be able to paint that candle. If we can, then you could do it like orange and white. You know, you could make it orange and white up and down if you're using it for Halloween. I'll give that a try and see. I have a good sealer that's also a Josanya product. It's a wood all-purpose sealer. And if I seal that candle being plastic, I think I can probably paint it. So you could paint it to match your piece. If you're doing Christmas, you could make it stripe like a candy cane. If you saw that picnic basket that I did, I striped the handle on that, made the stripes going around, the circular. I did that with tape, girls. If you take your painter's tape and mask it off, you got to just make sure your base coat's perfectly dry before you use tape. But I just took the tape and went around the circles and then painted between them, and it made red and white stripes on there. Okay, I've got that painted all around now, and I'm going to set it over here to dry. Put my brush in the water. Now we're ready to go back up here and see this one's all totally dry. We're ready to go back up and start on him again. Just pull me a piece of paper over here, so it might be dirty under there. Okay, now as you see, we just got a plain piece there. I'm going to put some shading underneath, and then we're going to put some other little things around it to make it. And I've got these, like I said, I cut out a bunch of bats, and I've got some, let's go ahead and cut out a few more. I've got the bats cut out. Let's see, I probably can use this little moon here. I've got a moon. So, and it's got some bats around the moon. So I'm going to cut that out because I probably can stick that up there. These pieces I'm going to cut out. Okay. I'll try that candle, try painting the candle tomorrow and see. I'm almost sure it'll work because, like I said, you can put that sealer on about anything. And oh, and I just cut that bat right out of there. Put the sealer on it. See, that's like a moon with a bat in the moon. I can put him right up there if I want. Add some things to him. I've got some spiders over here. You can cut out some spiders. I've got a black cat. I've got some old lady's witch shoes. This is just a whole page of stuff I put together. I've got a crow there. Let's see what we got here. 2 pair of little shoes here. Now, if you're putting this little design on one of those little round bottles from Hobby Lobby, it just about fits perfectly on that bottle. Okay. Lynn, you said you didn't know that you watched Vintage to Chic. I am the Vintage to Chic. Vintage to Chic is the page you're on. And my Etsy shop is called Vintage to Chic. I've had that name for many years. I used to have a website years ago. The internet has changed so much. Back years ago, it was very hard to get things going. You had a lot to do on a website. Of course, you still do, but I mean, it's easier to do now. Since COVID, it's changed a lot of things as far as people on the internet. Okay, so I've got a couple of spiders there. And I don't know if I want that black cat in there. I might. Okay, let's see. Getting far enough along for you to see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to go in here and paint this shade underneath these like we do with setting that down on the ground. I'm going to get some shading under that. And since we're Halloween, I'm going to use the black this time to get that shading down in there. Okay. So I'm going to take my black, see if I've got a question or two here, girls. Sheila has an old bucket I painted years ago. Yeah, it would have been years ago. Gas is $2.29. Oh my Lord, which is $9 a gallon for you in Canada. Oh, that's sad. Very, very sad. Thanks for the stars, girls. I've been trying to, my favorite thing. Hands on. Okay. Premium pay wages, some states is. Yeah, minimum pay, $7.25. You can't live on $7.25 an hour. Here they have a lot of the places, these quick places that like the kids working for the summer. Maddie's working for the summer. She's 16, and she's working at Dollywood for the summer, and they're paying $12 an hour. So, of course, a family can't live on that. But the kids, all kids, just about, it's so good for kids here. Kids can work. Maddie worked last summer at 15. They can start working at 15. The school gives them a permit, so she worked last summer, and then she's working this summer at Dollywood. and she's making $12 an hour. Okay, I've got a little bit of my painting medium out, and I'm going to use a flat brush, and I'm going to come in here, pick up a little bit of, I think that one's a little bit too wide. Get me a different brush. Okay, I'm going to load my brush with some painting medium, and then on one side, one corner of my brush, I'm going to pick up a little black, and I'm going to blend it a little bit. Now this black is strong, so you want to be careful with it if you're doing black. And then I'm going to go right down under here, and I'm going across. I'm going this way to put my shading under there, because I want to just set that down like there's black underneath it, like it's ground. Right along under the pumpkins and under the piece, all the way around. Coming right over here. And when you come out over here, you should really come about the same equal out over here. So I'm going to come out right there, pull that out. I'm going to put quite a bit of that down there. Darken it quite a bit. See, now I've set that down. It just sets the whole thing down on the ground when you do that. Maxine, it is a struggle when you're first learning. But all of a sudden, don't give up. You know, just keep playing with it, girls, and keep playing with it, because all of a sudden you'll do it and you'll think, oh, that looks pretty good, and it's not that hard. You know, it'll come to you and you'll think, well, that's really easy. You know, it just takes you a while to hit that spot, you know, hit that sweet spot to where you know a little bit more about it. And it's not really hard. I'm not doing anything that's hard. It just takes the time to, you know, to learn it, okay? Now I've got that set down. I'm still going to go back over here and put a little bit more. I want that to be kind of dark under there since it's a Halloween piece. I'm just going to strengthen it a little bit. Going almost to the bottom with it. Okay? Okay. Now, I've not decided yet what I'm going to do up here. So I may just put some bats up there, or I may check that or something, but I'm going to work on this other side here for a few minutes first and get some pieces down here. So I'm going to go in here, and I've got some boots, and these are not, you know, they're just going to be set on here. They don't have to be in any particular order or any particular place. They're just kind of like fillers. So I'm just going to choose a spot, pick me up a little bit of glue, and set those down. Let's see, I've got some bats, I've got a moon. I'm going to put this moon up here. Bats in the moon. A little bit of glue. I'm going to spackle, or whatever it's called. Speckle, spackle, whatever. I'm going to do the toothbrush thing, girls. When I get done, I'm going to do that with black to pull it all together. See, I've got that one down there. I'm going to put a spider in here. See if this spider goes up here. Okay, I'm going to hold off on that spider. Then I'm going to make a cobweb and put that spider in a cobweb. So I'm going to go ahead and put a bat. These are little bats that I've cut out. I'm going to put a bat right there. And get me a smaller one. Just put them, because bats are usually, when you see them, you see a number of them. So I'm going to put me some right up here. And put that one down in the blue a little bit. Now let's see if I can, I don't have a spider web on there. I'm going to see if I can take me a thing and draw me a spider web. I'm going to try it a little bit first here on my paper. So a spider web goes like this. You go up, 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 up. See, I'll show you how I put that. See how I went around with that? Now I'm going to go inside that and put another line. So I'm going to go right back inside of it and do the same thing again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And I'm going to do the same thing inside of it again till I go all the way down to the middle. See how I've done that? Now I'm going to go in here and from the inside to the out to the points, I'm going to pull some little lines out through there. See? I've just made a little spider web in there. And I've done that with a liner brush. And the first thing I'm doing is just making, I'm going to do that again so you can see I'm going to try to do it bigger. So I'm going to go just making like a half C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, I went, that one's 7. And they all come out to a point. And then I'm going to go right in the inside and do that again. Same places, except I'm going in about 1/8 of an inch. See, now I've got the second little section in there. And you just keep doing that till you get all the way to the middle. Let's practice it on some paper. Now, see, I've done, now I'm going to take me make me a mark, comes from the middle out to the points. So in each point, I'm going to pull a stripe out from each point out to that point. Okay, that makes a spider web. Now I'm going to go over here and put one of those on my board here, just a small one. Get my brush to a good point, and I'm going to go right here and make a small one. Then I'm going to pull to the inside, pull each line out from the center out to those little points there. Okay, then I've got a spider here, and I'm going to set him right underneath that spider web. I need to put one more little row of centers in there. Okay, now I'm going to take my brush, use a little bit of glue, and I'm going to put that spider right there like he's climbing right up to that spider web. Didn't get enough glue underneath him. See? Just like he is climbing right up there to make that spider web. Okay, now I'm going to put a couple more bats over here. Let's see. I think I'll put another bat right up here with these. could set me another pumpkin down here. So let's take one of these pumpkins out. We got some scary little pumpkins here. Good evening, Tina. If you're late coming in, girls, just go back and watch a replay. Okay, now I've got a spot right over here to the side. I'm going to set that pumpkin right there. Oh, that brush is what I painted black with. Okay, here's a new one. I'm talking to myself, girls. If you don't hear me and you see my lips moving, then I'm just talking to me. Okay, here we go. Put me a little bit of glue there. And come in here and sit that little pumpkin right down there. And I already have shading underneath him, so I don't have to do anything to him. See? See how he looks now? A little more in there. You got your snowman today? That's a good thing. I hope you, when you get him finished, show us what you done, okay? Now, let's see what else I've got here. I've got a trick or treat sign. I don't think I'll do anything else to that side because I'm going to just put the black spack, whatever it is. Okay, now I'm going to go over here, and I'm not going to lay that down because I don't want to get it, you know, it's wet, just a little tad wet. This side, let me put me something under that. Okay. See if I that. I've got a little thing there that says trick or treat. I could put that on there. So, after I do these, girls, if I feel like you need more of the things to put around here, then I'll rearrange this paper to print out for you to where you'll have plenty to put around your, you know, both your sides of what I think you might need. I'm going to go in here and get this little crow out of this side. I'll have to hunt my Halloween ribbon, so when I finish him, I'll put a ribbon, put a bow up there on the top of him, and of Halloween. When I get him done, I'll varnish him, get him all varnished, and then show you what he looks like. So I'm going to put that little crow there, and I got some shoes up here. They're a little bit big for that. Let's see, I got another pair down here. Okay, I got a little pair here. And I'm going to get me another little pumpkin out of here. Okay, let's see here. Things are quiet tonight. Okay, I'm going to set me another pumpkin right there. Okay, first I need to shade underneath that one like we did on the other side. Make sure I'm not getting my hand in that. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with my black. And I'm going to shade across the bottom here. I'm picking me up a little bit of painting medium. And a little bit of black paint on the corner. Blend it on my palette. come in here and set this right down underneath here. Got a truck on this side. Painting medium, corner of the brush, bring it out. Got a ghost and a truck. Okay, you have shaded right underneath that one. Now I'm going to go back in just like I did on the other side and put a few of those bats and stuff up in there. I'm going to set this little pumpkin. I think I'll set him over here on this side. Right here, and set a little bit of the glue. And set him right in there by that ghost. Now I'll have to go back and put a little more shading underneath his bottom here, to the bottom of him, to set him down a little bit. Okay, now put me a couple of bats up here. Okay. Got some smaller ones. The time in this one's cutting all your little pieces out. Can't decide what I want to do with the sides. I want to paint it or dot it, put polka dots on it, or what I want to do. Okay, got one there. One more long one up there. Okay. Do I still sell at the Gatlinburg show? No, I don't. I stopped when COVID hit. She keeps calling me to, you know, I can go back anytime I wanted to, but it's gotten to be, it's a hard show to do, girls. You gotta spend 2 days going in there and getting your booth set up. It's a hard 2 days to get it all set up and ready to, ready to show. And then you're there every day for 18 days. You're there from 9 o'clock in the morning till 6, 7 o'clock of the evening. And the older you get, the harder that gets to do, you know. And Daryl is no longer able to help me set up. He used to go in and set up all of my shelving and, connect in all of my lights. You got to set your lights up. And, I mean, it's just like setting up a store for 18 days. So it's a lot of work to set up a show that's that long and a booth set up. It takes a van load just to haul your setup stuff in. And then, another one to haul your supplies in, what you're selling. It's a good show, but it's just, I'm too old. With him sick like he is and things, like they are now with that, it's just too much for us now. If you get a chance to go, though, and you've never been, or if you've been, girls, you know how great it is. And if you get a chance to go visit it, it's one of the best shows in the eastern United States. And the crafters are from all over the country. They're not just from this area. They come from California, states all over. And a lot of them, you know, like I said, I was in there more than 35 years, and a lot of them, you know, been in there that long or longer. So you're getting some really good crafters. I have a friend who does leather handbags. We met at the show years ago, and she and her husband are both in their 80s, and they're still doing that. She designs and sews leather handbags. Her place is called Bev's Bags, and she sells alligator and, you know, all the exotic leathers. Beautiful work. Now she'll still be going. One of the ladies that's here in our group, Anne, she sells Christmas ornaments that's crocheted. She does beautiful crocheted Christmas ornaments that's done on a machine. And her work is amazing too, and she still does the show. And she's as old as me or older. And they've been in it, I don't know exactly how many years they've been in there, but a long time. Okay, I think I got the two in there. See, I've got this side, and now I've got this side. And I don't know what I'm going to do to this. I can't decide yet. So I'm just going to go ahead and put do the toothbrush thing and get the color on there, and then I'm going to wait till tomorrow or later tonight in the morning, and then I'll decide whether I'm going to stripe that or check it or what I'm going to do, and then I'll bring it back with the thing and let you see it. So see, this is the way it'll sit on the base. So you'll have, of course, it'll be varnished and done, but it'll sit on the base like this. And then the lamp, this part will go in up here, and it'll have a bow around it. So I may, I've got to, I don't know, I may hatch this, I may put cross hatches on it. I hadn't even thought about it today to do, but it has to have something on there. So, I'll have to decide what I'm going to do. But right now I'm going to go ahead and put I'm going to put black, and I can just do one side to show you, if you haven't seen how we do it, I can do one side because I don't want to do black on both sides. I can't lay it down. Okay, so I've got my black paint and my toothbrush, and I'm going to put a little bit of paint in my brush, a little bit of water in that black paint. And I'm going to load my toothbrush, just load this end and sneak right into that paint a little bit with that black. And I'm going to come in here, let's do this side over here first, because we're totally finished with that side. And I'm not going to put it down on the picture. I'm just going to put it around the edges. This just kind of pulls it all together. But I'll decide what I'm going to put up on that band around it. And then, like I said, if you decide you want them, I'll show you a picture tomorrow of the finished one and the setup for the order, so you can order them. So if you want them, because you'll be doing them, if you do them for different holidays, and you may want more. And when you buy more than one at a time, you save on the shipping. Because this one's going to be about 2 pounds probably to ship. And it'll be probably around somewhere around $18, $19. I haven't figured out my light charge yet. My candle charge in it. But see how pretty that is? See the design on that one? And I'm going to go ahead and spackle this back. I just have to leave it setting up like this to do it. I can do that because it's on the 2-inch stuff. I can spackle that. I may just put black and white polka dot, or black polka dots down through that top, down through that edge, and then put my ribbon. I'll show you how to make a pretty bow. And I've got some Halloween ribbon, but I have to dig it out. So I got to get in my ribbons from last year and find my different kinds of ribbon. Okay. Now I don't want to get my hand in that. Got him on the base now. See? And you could do your base. You wouldn't have to do the stripes. You could do polka dots on the base. You could do checks. I probably do, you know, checks. I may go across this with checks. If I do, I'll put 3 rows. You know, I'll put a thing in the middle, and I'll put 3 rows of checks and put some highlights and stuff in the checks and put them on as 3 rows. And I will put some drags through these stripes. I'll do that right now because this is I'm going to use my drags. I like to use a shade of kind of a gold, or this is what I like to use, Golden Harvest, or one of the yellowy. It's not really yellow, it's kind of a gold, kind of an ochre color. I like to use that. So, and I'm going to put a little medium on my brush, and then I'm going to load one corner with that. Throw it out there, and no reason as to where I'm going to put it. I'm just going to pull some down through there. Okay. Sometimes I'll be in the black, and sometimes I'll be in the white. Sometimes it goes through both. You can put any color you want on there. Don't have to be that particular color. If there's something else you like, then use that. I think there's some purple. Yeah, there's some purple in that witch's costume there. You could even put some purple down here. When it's varnished, then it's a whole different, you know, it looks a whole lot better when we get it varnished, and we'll put some glitter on it. And I'm going to take that right on over the edges here. I don't want to stripe that top because I don't want it to be the same as this one, so I probably will just put checks on it. That'll take a little bit of time to get the checks, so I'll do those in the morning, and then I'll varnish it and show you all what it looks like. Okay, I've got all them pulled down there now. And this is the finish. You'll see the finished piece tomorrow, and the candle goes in it, and I'll have a ribbon